Hey, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my talk show. I'm your host, That One Rebel, here, back again for another interview on my show, Late Night Rebel. We have a special guest coming very soon, HatKid. But before we start, just a reminder, if you have any questions for my guest or myself, please use the chat command, questions with an S. There'll be a form, put your username in, put your question in, and that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoy the show, enjoy the interview, and without further ado, let me introduce my guest coming from behind the curtains, HatKid. Hey!
Dude, the intro is so sick.
Yeah, man.
How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, man? You're looking fresh. Fresh.
Well, thank you. I only have a single nice-looking outfit, but the hair looks like I gorilla glued it. So.
Yeah, I got you, man. If you like this, hey, you sit next to me. Of course. You be in the hot seat, man.
Perfect. There we go. Get the angle all perfect. My immersion is maximized.
Yeah, there you go. See, welcome. This is the show, man. You know, we got all your fans in the audience, all 100 of them. Yeah, woo!
I can put them out. There it is, Kitty McPancakes.
Yeah.
God, it's been so long.
Yeah, COVID.
It's all.
They're all using they're all using optimized avatar. They're all invisible, so that's why I turn off nameplates.
That's what it is there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, we want to make sure we can conserve as many frames as humanly possible for the quality of the show there.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
really appreciate them all staying as quiet as they humanly can as well.
Yeah, of course.
You know, really sells the mood, allows the airspace to be a little light. You know.
So here you are, man. This is the man, the legend himself.
Dude,
You know.
The stage is amazing. I've seen quite a bit of the interviews and previous, but like seeing the map, it's different being in the map rather than just seeing it on the screen there. That intro hits different when you're standing in the back room waiting for it to start.
Yeah, I'm trying to give that authentic Legends VR.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense then. The level of quality makes sense. Absolutely. I mean, the lighting is phenomenal. The reflections are great. I love the maps that focus on like the tiny details because especially in VR, you notice all the small things and it really adds to the experience.
This world's actually super optimized. No, I've never had a show of like, you know, full audience, but we did test. You can actually have 70 people in this world and actually fit every single chair if they actually have 70? Optimized avatars. Yeah.
Oh God, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, but
that sounds super like.
But the
immersion-wise, but oh God.
But if they have optimized avatars, I mean, you know, it'll work.
That's fair. I guess I haven't really been in like huge lobbies that have had decently optimized avatars besides technically Countless Row, but I feel like we still kind of push the boundaries there, anyways.
Oh, absolutely. And the problem is that because I sit here, I would have to see every single avatar at all given time because they're all in front of me. So
yeah, it's fine. No, don't worry about it. Just don't look. Just
close your eyes. Of course. Yeah, just look the other way. Yo, hey guys, doing an interview. Yeah, again, 60 FPS here, dude. What's up, man?
Oh, it's solid. Some people stream at like 24.
True, I did. And then I got a new computer, and now I get like 30, 40, and I'm like, oh, finally, I can feel. I can move in this game.
My headset's refresh rate.
Yeah, I know.
This is true living.
Yeah, this is the living right here. But yeah, I mean, the most I ever had probably in the audience is like 20 or 30, but I did a fashion show, so it made a little more sense rather than an interview.
Oh, man.
So yeah, I do.
See, stuff like fashion shows always really, I suppose, intrigued me in the sense of virtual reality because there's so much more things you can do, like nuance-wise, when it comes to the outfits, especially when it comes to like special effects and such. It's not hilariously expensive either. How did that end up playing out?
It was great. The only problem was I did them like bi-weekly, so like less and less people showed up because people are like, I don't make avatars every 2 weeks. I'm like, oh man. So I'm gonna like, so I took a break from it. Yeah, I was doing it every like bi-weekly, but I'm gonna bring it. So I've been on hiatus for that for about 3 months. So I'm gonna bring it back to do it once a month, so we have more people to show up and. I'm going to like reformat how I run things. But basically, yeah, it'll be coming back. People go on the star over there, and then we actually have a camera that does a 360 around them.
Oh, that's oh my God. Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, exactly.
That's such a great effect, too. It's so smooth.
Absolutely.
The things that we've been able to do in VR chat as a medium has just absolutely astounded me as time has gone on. I mean, it's from where we started, because I played pretty much since the release of the CV1, and just thinking of where we are now. I mean, finger tracking, full body, and all this on top of it is just it's just absolutely insane. I can't wait to see where like the more actual like official hosted events go in this game, because like I've had my fair share of trying to host events. I did a esports quote unquote tournament for the Peko map, which is like this almost Rocket League type ball player versus player game. I don't know if you've played it, but it was crazy how into it the players got, and on top of that we had like a halftime show. We had Kelly and Neither perform, and it was really interesting just how into it you all felt. You were there at an event, right? You weren't just, I mean, obviously you're sitting there, you're in your house looking like an idiot jumping around in VR, but at the same time you're watching a sports ball game and everyone's all cheering for their teams. We did mid-game interviews, and especially things like this, it makes it all feel that much more real. And going forward into the future, I really hope to see it kind of more realized on a grander, more official stance than just us content creators trying to push it out how we can, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm already planning on like bringing back the fashion show. I'm going to do improv nights in here too, so I'm not like just an interviewer. I want to do like, I'm going to become the game show person, the content machine. You come here, you know, once a week. Hey, fashion show. Hey, we got improv night. Hey, we got Family Feud. We got the content. You come, you show up. You know,
Family Feud. I tried hosting a Jeopardy match for one of our community hangout nights, using one of the Jeopardy worlds in there, and like I walked into the control panel room and it's like 36 buttons that are all like poorly labeled, and I was like, how do people do this? I couldn't see it, but luckily it looks like you actually have somebody running the behind the scenes for the sound
absolutely,
etc.
Yeah,
like
the camera. Yeah, you gotta have a dedicated person.
Yeah, I realized that 5 minutes before the stream had started, and so I pulled one of my buds in and was like, "Hey, come click buttons on this panel, and we're gonna see how it turns out." It's crazy the amount of production value that goes in behind it, and it parallels so well with like the real deal too, which is what I don't know. I'm just excited for VR. I'm excited to see where this goes as a future, especially for people like us who are trying to make something of it in terms of like you reaching that level of professionalism that I never could. I'm excited to see where this all goes. I want to see VR explode and become that like post-apocalyptic cyberpunk world where everything's all virtual, that kind of stuff. I want Ready Player One. I want the world to die, and I want to be happy inside.
And I'm like, hey guys, yo, it's me, Rebel here. Not more interviews. Everybody's in Ready Player One.
There you go. You get the dystopian. You can interview. I mean, just well, why is it a sad thing? Come on, editor.
Because you're talking about how the world's gonna explode.
No. I didn't say I want the world to explode. I said I want the world to die.
Die.
We have to use VR. Yeah. It's different. Because one of them's an explosion.
Well, rip all those non-believers, man. They're all gonna perish. All those people playing Call of Duty, like the damn VTubers. You know.
Oh god, the whole VTuber thing caught me really, really, really off guard. And like I at first I was like, so against it in every way. Until I like sat down, like looked at my stream, was like, isn't that technically what I do? Just like
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I just I don't know. It's really cool when I suppose like the VTubers that take it into like, if this is a character I'm playing, this is the personality I'm putting out that appeals to a certain audience, this is what I'm doing. Where it becomes a little muddier for me is when it turns into more of a, hey, it's just me, it's my personality, and here's an anime image, there we go. And like that's where at first it got the line kind of blurred for me there, but I've over time become more open to the idea and of using it as not only a medium but as a tool. The whole English YouTuber side of things blowing up too has been surprising. It surprised me at first, but you know, we're all pocket weeaboos anyway, so I guess it kind of makes sense.
I mean, man, Listen, man, I never thought I'll be here, but here I am, and now I interview VTubers, and I'm going to become the #1 VTuber talk show on Twitch. Listen, yeah, I'm going to become #1. I'm already #1 for VR chat. Listen, I'm coming for you, Twitch. Let's go. I'm coming.
So that brings up an interesting question then. Who's your first target? If you're going to start branching off into the VTuber side of things, who would be the first person you interview?
Well, I already have. Haha, see, you don't pay attention. I've already started expanding to the VTuber realm. See, I could take this talk show to outside of VR chat. I already have. I've already interviewed, Code Miko. I've interviewed, what's her, Buff Pop. I've interviewed, what was the other one? Oh, Takahata 101, if you know who that is.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I've heard the name. I don't know anything past that.
He's the voice actor for Dragon Ball Z Abridged. He did Nappa and Cell.
Oh shit!
He's a VTuber. He's a bartender.
Man, you think I'd know some of this stuff? I feel like I'm just so disconnected from everything, especially because of work. I work full time, 8-hour shift. I'm a cable technician to pay the California bill. So then I come home and I get on and I go, okay, cool. I'm gonna role play for the next 4 hours. I'm not me for the next 4 hours. I get on, do the thing, clock out at the end, be like, all right, cool, take care, and then I just hang out in Discord pretty much the rest of the time there. But I mean, it's in terms of like the networking side of things, I've always really struggled with that because I just want to play video games.
Wasn't it like I thought in my mind, if you're a role player, you kind of are networking. You're literally role playing with another human being to create a grander story.
Yeah, you get the physicality of the networking side of things here, but there's a difference between the like, haha, I'm loosely related to you because we both do the same thing, right? Versus the I know you on a personal one-to-one basis. We've talked outside of character, we've hung out, we've done this thing. I would invite you to come play games with me sometime. Rather than, all right, well, cool, our characters did the thing. You take care. There's a stark there's a stark contrast between the two, and we were talking about it a little bit earlier, during the whole like interim before stage thing, where there's like the post lobby there that because of the nature of the characters I play, I don't have a lot of time to interact with in that post lobby, and so I feel like I've missed a lot of that there, which is kind of sad in a lot of ways, really thinking about it, because there's some wonderful people that we end up working with throughout all of the stuff that we do. I mean, especially like an opportunity as huge as like an Arcadum, right? Arcadum's role play. Right,
yeah,
coming out of nowhere with Callus Row, all of it just caught me super off guard, and the amount of pure talent that goes into all these people, their characters and such. Like, no matter what POV you watch, it's a completely different story. It's a completely different circumstance, and it's not just NPCs sitting there like, "Hi, how's it going? Have you heard of the High Elves?" as you walk by. It's a genuine, like, they're talking about some 6-session long storyline that's been prepped and meticulously put time into, and you just happen to be walking by, and it basically sounds like NPCs speak to you, but it's real. The world feels lived in, and that takes a special kind of talent, both on the map design side, the map team's design, and the players within it. Especially you running the motor shop in the row there. I really do miss interacting with all you guys as this guide bot. I miss the boy.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel the same way. Like, it feels like that's the one thing that I enjoyed was like some role plays, they don't have a lot of players, so they kind of have to like just add like a character that does this, just waving, or the
NPC wave.
Like look like they're doing something, because we have that in the upper city where like they have the guards just do this, just to fill the spots.
Oh, yeah, the ones that just stand there at the gates. Yeah.
Some role plays like have like a way more like everywhere. That's everywhere, but we don't have that in the upper city. But it makes sense, right? There's robots, whatever. Point is that like
we have to like have quote unquote guards.
So like some role plays struggle with that, or sometimes they just like. I think role play has gotten way better. Like, I remember when I first started getting into VR chat like 3.5 years ago, and it was like role play was just like you go to the Void Club and then you just like make up a random character, and then you go to the courtroom, and then you go to like RP jail. Like, that was it. Like that was it. That was the whole role play. It's like, yeah, you cheated on my wolf girl thing with this other person, and you go
I
to
can't believe
jail.
you do this for the fourth time. I'm calling my dad, who's the CEO of a major company, and he's gonna break your kneecaps. But also, I'm my brother, and I have a twin. Like all like the one-off random storylines that would pop up in the Void Clubs were nuts. I remember one of the first experiences I ever had with roleplay was doing NPC work for Sora Fantasy 7, which is actually where I believe I first met you, way back. Yeah, it was interesting to say the least. I had no idea what I was doing. All I knew is that I like lived a wall away from my sleeping parents at the time.
Same.
And they're like, go yell, go scream at this, and I'm like, that's gonna turn out great. I can't wait for this one.
I know you're talking about after Club Rogue. Chips did like the Sora RP where like it was like like a weird one-off thing.
Fantasy almost. Yeah, and it was all the way back then.
That's where I met that's where I met Karita too.
Yep,
for the first
here.
time.
No,
yeah.
That's how I got into all this stuff.
I still have some of the old clips and some of the dumb shit we said. I still laugh at like.
Oh God, it was hilarious. It was a one-off. It was meant to be funny. It was a comedy-based roleplay, and that's what really spoke to me there. I remember being pulled in by stealth, my first ever time roleplay. They're just like, "Oh, you wanna come onto the stage and be part of this like play?" And we're like, "Oh, sure, I guess." And he walks up to me, he's like, "You're the main character." I'm like, "Oh shit, okay." But anyways, I mean, oh God, it was. Oh, dude, no, I fucking made him lose his shit. That was the best part. I sold it so well. Because all I am is a cheesy role player. So being able to sit there and like rattle off cheesy one-liners about the stars and the sparkles in her eyes and all this stuff was right up my alley. And I also got to plug McDonald's at the time.
Oh, nice.
Just no context.
Oh,
it was
reminds me
of quarter pounder with cheese.
McDonald's reminds me of way back when I first met Arcadum in VR chat, where basically we found this cursed McDonald's world, where pretty much it's just a bunch of Ronald McDonald's like floating and they're like spinning, like T-posing. It was,
the super big ones.
Yeah. And at the and then
that world's still there.
Yeah, and then the very end was just like an avatar. You can become Ronald McDonald, and Arcadum was like. He would gather like 20 people. He was like, "We're all gonna be Ronald McDonald," and I was like, "What?" And he's like, "We're gonna go raid whoever's streaming." So we'd raid like Whoops or whoever was streaming. You were like, "You want a cheeseburger?" And like be really creepy and like stand around them and like harass people. Like it was funny. Just a bunch of Ronald McDonalds. Yeah.
Dude, I feel like people wouldn't take that kind of thing as kindly nowadays, would they?
Absolutely not. They'd just be like, block, get out of my face.
It's such a different ecosystem. I feel like as the years have gone on, the God, what would you even call it? Like the snowflake conundrum has evolved within the VR chat to a staggering degree. A lot of the lowbrow tongue-in-cheek jokes that you were used to be able to pull just aren't acceptable, or they're immediately deemed as like attacks and stuff like that now. And it's like you always gotta be on your guard. You're like, oh, I want to do this bit, but will I get banned? Will I get blocked? Am I gonna get like canceled on Twitter for it? There, it's like it's crazy how much, I guess, additional time and effort and thought you have to put into things before you actually do it. Which obviously, there's to a degree, it makes sense. You know, you want to make sure everyone's comfortable, everyone's having a grand time, because that is without a doubt the start and finished goal of everything we do is we want everyone to enjoy themselves, right? That's what Absolutely. It should be, and that's what it always has been. Yeah. But it's definitely changed, because God, I miss doing stupid shit like that. That's all I'm good at. Yeah,
I did a lot of dumb shit back in the day. You know, I would go to Publix. I spent half my time with Team 5 at the time, and then I streamed for like 8 hours. Half of it was Team 5, and then half of it was I wanted to do something else. So I would purposely only go to Publix and just like be a shit like disturber. I would just like I would just shit post. Like I would just fuck with people like constantly. But like over time, like I could like it became like people would get like actually mad. Like it was either they laughed or they were like super like 10 out of 10 Karen like pissed. So I was just like,
I know. It's
they're like, I want to get you banned. I'm reporting you to VR Pill. You're gonna get banned for a month. I was like, holy shit.
I know him personally. He's on my friends list from the time I ran into him at a public.
I was like,
hello, and then press the friend button.
I was like,
it's over. Your
God,
career's done.
Your career's done. I'm getting you banned. I was like, oh, hit. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna stop going to Publix and only troll my friends because at least they know I'm joking, right?
Yeah, and so that's the thing. Like you hop on your friends on a Friends Plus to do like a haha funny bit that might be a little too risque for your public worlds, right? And then everyone turns around and goes, why is everyone in Friends Plus? Why is everyone in invite only instances? Oh, this is killing VR chat. Nobody wants to meet anyone anymore. And it's like, no, because when I meet you, you walk in and you either do one of three things, right? You see the camera and your first immediate reaction is to say whatever racial slur pops into your head, of course, because what else are you supposed to do in front of streamers? Haha, really, really, really fun. And or two, they immediately come into some non-safe for work model out in the public world, and now you have to go through that whole process of blocking, or you do the joke and the entirety of like this e-girls wolf boy army is now on your ass and you're crashed.
The wolf boy e-boys, they'll come get you. They
You
come
can't avoid them.
They'll come send the boys after you. I've had people say that to me. They're like, you talking to my girl? I'm like, no. They're like, you're lying to me. I'm part of the black tribe of Black Tiger. I'm part of Laughing Colin. If you fuck with me, listen, I'll send the boys to come see you. We're gonna fuck you up, boy. We're gonna crash you every single day.
I'll find your IP. I'll hop on your private instances and crash you.
They're coming to come see you. I should make that an email.
You should absolutely do that.
Like some like really they're really cringy like. Yeah.
Oh God.
But
no, times have definitely changed.
Good times, winky face. Anyway, so you got into role playing because of stealth, right? Like that was your first like role play experience, or did you role play before that? And then you started doing like after that was like Purple Lotus, Aegis. Like how did that transition? And then now it's Ascension Academy, Chaos Row.
Oh yeah, so essentially it all started back when I first bought my Oculus, and I was like, oh, VR chat's great, I love this. I'd always been like a weird mix of like a band kid, theater kid, so I'd had some like minor acting type experience before, and I just no longer had somewhere to do it. And I was browsing VR chat on Twitch, and I saw Stealth RG with his whole like season 4 stuff, and that's roughly when I had popped in, and I watched all of it. I'm like, this is insane. These people are pretending to be other people, and it's in VR, so it's super cool, and you can set up all these cool camera angles and stuff, and that's sick. And I managed to run into one of my friends who was like close with the group, and so they were all just hanging out in the lobby like, yeah, you want to go meet all these people? And I'm like, what? Sure. And that transitioned into me meeting Beast and all of them, and then Beast was like, hey, we should get this guy in for Sora Fantasy as an NPC. And then from there I was like, roleplay is amazing, this is great. Like I get to just come around, and I thought it was all comedy at first. Obviously there's parts where it's serious, but I was like, cool, I could do the haha funny. And from there I went from being an NPC in Sora Fantasy 7 to then trying out Purple Lotus, which was recommended to me by I think it was Oblivious, whose stream I watched next, and she was like, oh, it's an open world kind of thing, it's got a persistent world, so it's almost like gamified to a certain degree, where you have that constant progression and persistent characters and scenarios, and the thought of that being possible really appealed to me. So I popped in and was like, fuck it, dude, I'll be myself. And I used this very model just in its standard outfit. I brought like a book in my left hand and a pencil in my right hand. So I could have chat and make an excuse to have chat and look at it without it breaking character. And I bullshit winged my character on the spot. They're like, oh, who are you? And I'm like, my name's Sig, because that's the name of the character from the Puyo Puyo series, which is what the model is. And then they're like, cool, what do you do? And I'm like, looked at the book and the pencil. I'm like, I'm a researcher. Like, you have any abilities? And I'm like, fuck, I just finished Bioshock Infinite. I have portals. It's super cool. And that was the beginning of the end, pretty much. I fell in love with the Purple Lotus and all the staff there. My win specifically was a very, very welcome friend throughout the entire process. Really encouraged me to kind of expand upon my character and get involved in more things there. Really made me feel welcome in those first days, which were monumental for my whole beginning. And from there, it pretty much it continuously cycled on. I met Kurita back at Store of Fantasy. I ran into him a couple more times during in the Purple Lotus, back when he used to like pop in a couple of times. And I obviously I'm loud. I have a naturally annoying voice, and so I got typecasted in his mind as like the annoying nasally character. And Kurita DM'd me on Discord out of nowhere one day and was like, "Hey, we need you to play a character for Ascension for an NPC." And I'm like, "Oh, cool. What kind of character is he?" He's like, "Oh, it's like an annoying piece of shit asshole. We just need you to yell at the students and go from there." And I fucking nailed it. All right, I practiced that nasally voice all the way home, and they were very, very impressed by that. And that's how I got into Ascension. They were like, "Hey, we're doing another character wave. If you'd like to be in, that'd be great." I'm like, "Oh, cool. I can't wait to show him a character that's the exact polar opposite of what I've done before." It was for Ascension, I played Joseph Asmodeus Joko, and I wanted to make a character that really didn't match any of their like haha funny I'm a anime superhero, let's go. I was just like, I'm just gonna be a normal human dude, and I'm also gonna be an asshole and not be friends with anyone, because everyone's there like, "Oh man, I hate you, but the friends we made along the way are what keeps us strong, so I like you by the end of the episode." that shit always like, how do you laugh? But that's true. Like that's all. Like from what I'd seen Ascension, like I loved the circumstance, I loved the world and all that, but I'd see conflict start, and conflict is where it gets interesting between characters. You're like, "Oh man, how is this going to affect them in the long run? How are they going to treat each other differently?" But they always go like, "Hey, fuck you! But in 5 minutes, let's go grab a bite to eat at the snack bar," and then like laugh about it. And I just wanted to be an asshole, so naturally I made a racist, standard human asshole, and that's my character. Really, really fun and interactive.
Damn. I mean, that was basically me before Cowles Row. I was Candy K Kona. I hated anything that wasn't non-American, and I hated everybody that was a weeb in an anime. I was just like, "Damn weeaboos, my damn VR, check the hell out of here." And that was my character. I fit in.
Callus Row really surprised me, because Arcadum contacted me out of nowhere and was like, "Hey, we're doing a thing. We're starting this up. We want to do like a session 0 explanation of what Callus Row is going to be." And this is for season 1. And was like, "Are you interested?" And I was like, "Sure." And I ended up popping on in. And I don't recall if you were there for that first time they showed us like the like just like dev texture.
Yes. Bunch of boxes. It was just a bunch of boxes, man.
It was amazing, and even that blew us away. And all I remember is the fateful time where literally he was like, "Oh, you can make any type of character." And I walked up and said, "Can I be Claptrap?" And he went, "Absolutely." And I went, "Oh, okay. It's understand." Wait, what? Fucking really? Actually? And well, I mean, it was one hell of a marketing tactic. That first episode, getting the tour from Guidebot for the first time, everyone's like, "Claptrap Pog, ah!" And I gotta say, it was a mild ego stroke. It was a mild ego stroke. I have to attest to that, because I do a fucking fantastic Claptrap, and I stand by it.
No, he's dead.
Now he's dead.
So
tragic.
No, I got into Cowles Row because I knew Arcadum basically since almost day one of playing VR Chat. We started about in the same time, and I was in his previous roleplay called Forbidden Knowledge. So the Cowles Row, the Cowles Row Discord actually was originally Forbidden Knowledge. He just changed the name. So if you actually look at some old files like from years ago, you'll see it. But yeah, I was a part of that, and it was his first like real attempt at like an RP. Well, there was like Purple Lotus at the time, like early stages of that, and
right.
Ascension Academy? No, I think this was before Ascension.
No, Ascension was way after. Ascension is way after. Way after.
Yeah, so there's like very few like role plays at the time. So I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. Why not? Like, I think Arcade can do it. So I played as a character, and I played as Frank Castle, a middle-aged detective. It was really off-putting because we're like, there's a bunch of people getting kidnapped, and we're like in some sort of like hell school, but like everybody else was like a teenager, and I was like a middle-aged man. so everyone in my class was like, oh man, puberty, and I'm just like, fuck, I lost my wife and my kid. Fuck. I'm just like,
I'm never gonna see him again. My home's probably
fuck. And my character had like a noir like feel to it, so my character was all like washed up like black and white, and had a cigarette and everything. and I would just be constantly smoking. And I'm like a detective, so I'm like, oh, I'm trying to find who murdered my wife and kid. And everyone else just is like, oh man, I'm a cartoon. I'm whatever, man. And I'm just like,
I lost my puppy today, and you're like, I'm never gonna see my kids again.
yeah, I was basically like super like antisocial. I was like, get away from me, damn kids.
Those are okay. So even if the character itself is inherently negative, having the dichotomy of that character's personality versus like the a million like I'm an anime main protagonist, is phenomenal. Because even if the character's negative, just the difference alone is enough to garner garner interest in that character. And if you play it off right too, and you stick to your guns. It only goes to expand what you can do with it. I mean, that had to have been interesting for you though, playing such an older character surrounded by like children with menial problems that can be solved with probably a conversation.
We kept having challenges, like because Arcane would play as the headmaster, which is like his OC, the demon thing.
Yeah, the demon thing.
Yeah.
With yeah.
So one of them was like literally the test was to sacrifice, like 2 students had to sacrifice themselves, like literally like you go up there, you die. And I'm just like, what? What? I was like, this is intense, dude. And then I was like, I ain't doing this shit. And then like all the other students are like, no, pick this guy. He's old. He's fucking half dead anyway.
He's old. He
has less to live for. Yeah. I was like, that's fucked up. And they're like, you don't even have a wife or a kid anymore. And I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you people?
Don't remind me.
I'm like, no.
Oh God! See, I'm surprised they didn't do the whole like I'm gonna be the hero. I will sacrifice myself so my peers can continue.
What was a test?
I'm surprised none of that happened.
No one died. It was just a test of bravery. So if you went up, you became more powerful because you actually proved that you're brave and not a coward. I didn't go up.
Well, so there's a difference between cowardice and being a fucking idiot, right? If this guy goes, hey, standing on that star over there will fucking kill you instantly, and you go, I'm gonna stand on that star right there. This sounds like the best plan. Like, who fucking wins? Do you really care about the people around you enough that like your the sacrifice of your life so that they can open another 2 or 3 like novels is worth it? Even in character, that doesn't make sense.
I don't know. That's just the way it was played out. It's because I was like, holy shit, dude. Because like I thought he was serious because Rafflegator played as the hell did he play as? Like some Dragon Ball Z character or something like that. And then he died. Like literally the RP started and he died within 2 minutes of the whole RP.
There we go. That's some character progression. That's it. There you go. That's a whole 3 arcs right there.
Because like Arcana was like the first episode like explaining the class. I wasn't because he had 3 separate classes, so 3 separate like sessions for people. I wasn't in his class, but pretty much how it went was like he was explaining the rules and he said like everyone just shut the hell up. Like if you talk, you're out or whatever. Like he was very serious. So his character just kept talking and he's just like, you're dead, and then just fucking explodes him and he dies and had to make a new character.
Oh my fucking God. I mean, that's an attention to detail, though. I can appreciate that. Some people would get super salty butthurt over that, but like now, but like that's how it should be. I feel like so many of these role plays, these people can like take their characters as their like life, and so they'll turn around and they'll be like, oh man, this mission that was just announced. It says possibility of death. There's like 1,000 enemies to us, right? They're all impervious to everything I could possibly do to them. I'm gonna sign up for this mission and I'm gonna go fight. And then they get like critically injured and they're like, what do you mean you want me to lay on a cot for the next hour in RP? No, my character's gonna like heavy breathe Call of Duty style a couple times and be fine. And like it's just it makes no sense to me. It's like, dude, you get fucking shot. That's why my main verse RP character is literally just a human boy with no abilities, right? If I get shot, I'm gonna die, and they're gonna be like, no, but I cast greater healing, and it's like, no, you fucking don't. I'm brain dead at this point. It's like, congrats.
No, I get what you're saying. Like that's why when I made Rainer Rider for Callous Trail, I'm just a human that just fixes cars. I didn't play as some magical person. I don't have hidden powers or anything like that because I feel like it's kind of like when you're in school and like the public school, like recess, and like people always are like, oh, but I'm Spider-Man, but I'm Superman, and I'm Super Saiyan. I can go Super Saiyan. you can't kill me. I'm more powerful than you. I negate your blast.
Right.
Dispel. You can't defeat me. I'm a ninja. I'm just like, it's like people always trying to one up each other. That's what I feel like sometimes in certain role plays.
Absolutely. No, and stuff like that's been super rampant in the main universe. So we're like, it's now a running joke for my character where someone walks up and they're like, I represent the sin of sloth. And I'm like, fuck, again? How many of you are there? It's like so many people are like, I am death itself. I have killed so many people before, and my parents are dead. They died in a plane crash, and that's how I got superpowers. And now I'm on a vindictive path to avenge my fallen friends. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I woke up today. I had some coffee. You know, it was pretty bitter, so pretty bad morning altogether.
You would have loved my character in Purple Lotus, because that's exactly what I did. I played as Kenny K. Kona, just the American, but like everybody else, and this is like 2 years ago. This is a long time ago, but everybody else was like some sort of like alien or like magician or something going on, and pretty much but I'm just a dude. But I refuse to believe anything that wasn't like magic, any demon, nothing. Like if you walked up to me, like people would go up like, I'm Steeler, and I'm the demon of souls, and I'll just rip your soul out. And I'm just like, bro, brother, lay off the crack, brother. You need to stop doing those damn shrooms, man. You're talking crazy sense and shit. Like that's basically how anybody that like talked like that, I would literally call them out and be like, you're on shrooms or something. And some of the people literally laughed, or like they broke character. I would break people constantly in Purple because I just didn't like. Some people are like, they're like, there's a 20-foot demon inside of me. I'm like, what? I'm like, brother, you're crazy, man.
Are you okay?
And then
Jesus.
One person, I'll never forget. They said that they were a hologram. They're so like they weren't like transparent or anything because they didn't have the model for it, but they're just like gotcha. They're like, I am a hologram, and I'm like, what are you, like Tupac or something? And they're like, what? And then someone else is like, this is Tupac. They come back here, brother.
Oh god,
they're an anime woman.
God. Oh man, yeah, I definitely love doing like just calling people out on character trips. Like, and it's all in good fun. I'm not doing it to try to like fuck like ruin their night or criticize the characters. I think the character, listen, power trip or not, I think that having a character that is interesting to you as the role player and gives you your whatever you're looking to get out of role play is the important part. Because if you're having fun and you're not toe stepping, no one's toe stepping on each other, you're doing exactly what you're gonna do. You're set. I think that's perfectly okay. Now, if everyone could not be God, that would be cool too, because diversity and the characters and stuff like that. But
man.
It's definitely it's given me a wonderful opportunity. You'd mentioned that I had joined Aegis, and I had previously been part of Aegis there. One of the coolest things I'd gotten to do as normal Sig human boy was go on all of these world-ending missions as normal human boy. So they're like, I'm using my particle beam cannon, and I'm going to use my fist of 1,000 suns. And I'm like, I have a phone and a Glock and a
Glock. Sword. I got 9mm. I use magic missile. Pulls a block. Boom, boom.
They're like, all right, cool. I have a gun, bang, bang, and the thing doesn't flinch. I'm like, of course, it's impervious to bullets. How could I have foreseen this? It made one hell of a gimmick though, because we had like a training room, duel room, and I got a whole new outfit where I look like a sword fighter, and that's all looks like a medieval sword fighter. And I would bring people up to the duel and be like, all right, here's the name of the game. All right, one solid hit, and you win that duel, hands down. They're like, oh, okay, I'll kick your ass, normal human boy. Let's go. We'd shake hands on it. We'd back up. The second the duel starts, I pull my fucking Glock out of my pocket and take a single shot and win the duel.
Holy shit, dude. My God.
It's a power move.
Reminds me of season 4 of not Calistro, Club Rogue. It was like the melting pot of like RP. You had people that were gods, you had humans, and you just had like everything in between. So like it was just like everyone and their mom wanted to be in this role play. So I played as just Kenny K. Kona, but as a pimp. So I was like, yeah, I got some dancers here. So I would bring like
that was the model you used to always be in.
Yes, I used the pimp, and I would bring dancers. So dancers like Veronica J and like other like full body dancers would dance and run the club, and I would just be a human and then I would meet Curry Games for the first time. He's like, I hate you. I'm a Nephilim, and I'm like, what the hell does that mean? He's like, I'm half demon, half angel, and I could crush you with my pinky finger. And I'm like, okay, I'm like, you want to get a beer or something?
You give him like a thumbs up, just yeah, that's nice, guy.
Yeah,
Really
there's so many people that were like that. They're like, I'm the angel of destruction and judgment, and I'm just like,
my name's John. I work in accounting.
yeah, exactly. It was just it's such a like a polar opposite. People are like literally like I'm literally Kratos or whatever, and then like there's just me who's just like I'm a pimp.
Yeah. It's definitely different nowadays, but I mean, I think some of it's definitely improved for the better. In terms of like what we again, like I said at the beginning with VR, the tools we have available have changed like phenomenally since then. And speaking of which, I'm really hoping to see in terms of like role plays and stuff being pushing the VR as a medium to its limits. There's a obviously I'm sure you've heard of Neos VR at some point. There's a whole team on there.
Oh yeah, I
working
played
on making,
it.
like an RPG interactive RP based system with actual progression and actual strength. So instead of like I punch you and because I'm stronger than you go blasting back, they hit you. It does the math based off your strength and their weight and their defense or whatever and blast you back if it's supposed to. And that's what I'm saying, like having it integrated as back-end coding that can be applied to any single model with ease. Literally just a click and a drag. You take out your dev tool, you drag it over in the hierarchy, plop it in, and call it a day. Like I'm excited to see where it goes, and I'm excited to see if VR chat, especially with the introduction of Udon, introduces a similar system to allow us to have a little more interactivity without quite the server load there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I've known the devs of Neosphere for a while, and I get tours every so often by Turk. I'm sure you know him, and a couple of the boys. And yeah, they showed me like the D&D world off stream because I just wanted to see it, and how you can like shrink down and like be on this.
How long ago was it? I got a tour. I went to one of their workshop sessions roughly a month and a half ago, and oh my god, it's insane. They've made a whole tile set system with persistent pieces that you can load into a prefab that can then be saved to your inventory to be applied later. It's nuts the amount of things they've added to it too. The dice is working a lot better. They're still working on getting an actual physics system in the Neos, but that's a work in progress, obviously. But again, that part you mentioned there at the end was the part that really excited me the most. Being able to shrink down and like RP as D&D on the grander scheme is happening, and being your character while still participating as as rolling dice and stuff as regular D&D would. That's what excites me the most. RP with stats is what I'm getting at. I feel like it'll be a lot better. It'll be a lot more fun rather than like I'm gonna swing my sword and hope that you see it and hope that the 3 seconds of delay doesn't make you feel like you dodged it, and then I'm just like and then we'll just pretend stuff is happening, right? Like, because that's cool, and obviously depending on the caliber of the role play that's happening, it can be pretty immersive. We've shown it in Callus Row with the big scale battles, with the interactivity of the guns, which definitely helps the red screen stuff. But I definitely want to see what is possible when you have an actual integrated system that it's running on, rather than us trying our hardest to make it look believable.
Yeah, that's the one thing that whenever I talk to someone who role plays in like GTA, they always ask me, is there any back end stuff? There's any like, can you save money? I'm like, no, not really. You have to sell the hits, and they're like what? Because you know, the one thing that they always wanted, they always like suggested to me or like wanted to add in the game, just for any roleplay, not just Callus Row, but like they want to be able to arrest somebody. Like you handcuff them and I drag you and then I can take you to jail.
It, like locks them to a station on there, and you can actually move them away. That would be game changing. Being able to like properly instance players like that would be amazing. I just want the features of Neos and VR chat, man. I love VR chat. Neos has a long way to go, but like some of the, like just being able to think of like basically you're just in the Unity editor. Mm-hmm. Being able to go like, oh, I want to parent you. Okay, I'll spawn a node that sets your parent to this section, right? And then we'll just have it play on like a get you local user, get user by username, all this stuff. There's so many systems in there that help creators, and Udon is a very, very good step towards that. But the issue is the Udon on the larger scale with like 40, 50 players like we're used to with Callus Row. There's limitations somewhere. There's got to be limitations somewhere, but obviously FaZe Dragon and the rest of the team that's working with us for Callus has been phenomenal in giving us these systems, like the player pocket locks and the
yeah.
voice. The voice system should be a default feature. I would love that.
Absolutely.
I would love nothing more than to be able to modulate my voice distance regardless of the world, because that is huge. Radio, you load into a world, your friend's a million miles away, you have no idea where they are, you can't see the nameplate. Channel 6, hey, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like that. It's such a good system that was implemented. I'd like to see if VR chat takes the reins and tries to make something similar integrated into the game.
That's what I tried to tell the devs. Like, at least have the whisper and just the talking. Like at least, you know, because I hate when I go to like certain maps, like especially a map that has a lot of verticality to it. So like the Great Pug is a prime example where like you're on the bottom floor and I can hear someone up in the rooster's nest or the roost, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And they're like, well, that's just the way maps work. I'm like, well, if you had like a whisper system where people only, because like there's just too many times where like I hear, like I'm trying to talk to like somebody, but then I hear like people's conversations 10 feet away and it's just like white noise, and I'm like, you have to like walk to the far corner,
walk to the dark
hello
corner that hopefully nobody else is in, and hope for the best that no one else
I
is
hate
talking
that.
and
I'm just like, why can't we just have like a whisper where like only like a certain distance I can hear in or talk in, and because other social games have that, like GTA has that.
Neos
has that.
Neos
Yeah,
with their like sphere around it.
Yeah.
You can change your different voice distances and stuff manually inside the client, and like I feel like that's the very much requested and needed feature.
Should be for any social game.
That this is a social app. Yeah. Exactly. It being a social app, you're gonna have instances where there's 40, 50 people, and if it's a tiny world, like I think starting and stopping it at, oh well, you just shouldn't have that many people in the world, you know, is a little bit of a. I feel like that's a little too detached.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just.
But luckily,
just think of it like real life, you know. If I just want to talk to one person, I talk in a low voice. I want to yell across the goddamn club, I use my loud voice, just like real life. Obviously, video games struggle with that type of like, it can't like auto detect. A lot of games try to do that, it doesn't really work too well. But the best what they do is just have what Neos has, what Callus Row has. Just you set it so only 2 feet. 10 feet, 50, 100.
Yeah,
that's the simple solution.
Callus Row is perfect.
Yeah.
Callus Row is the perfect example because it's not just a, hey, this is something that a different game has done. This is a, hey, literally in your game using your programming backend.
Yeah.
It is in. It's possible, it's done. You have a group of talented programmers that have already proven what they can do, and heck, if you know some tricks that they might not know, you could even optimize it, and then there you go, push it forward. Now I know it's easier said than done. Obviously, I don't want to rap on the devs or anything like that. They have a shit ton on their plate, given just the size of the game and where it's going. I can only imagine how much is on what their to-do list, whatever their giant to-do list may be. But I definitely think that. That would be a very welcome change for not just roleplay, but just the game itself, you know?
Absolutely. There's a lot of things that I think should be implemented, but will they? I have no idea. The biggest thing they're working on is just updating the UI, because it's like 4 years old. They're basically trying to revamp it all. That's like the big thing. I don't know what's going to happen. I couldn't say, but some point in time, I would say that's the big thing they're working on, because once they get the UI, then they can start working on these other little features like that you want or other people want, because if you try to add the feature now and then you remake the UI, it breaks everything.
It's going to cause more problems. Rather than tying it into UI that may not even exist, why not just finalize what you're going to be working on and then add on top from there? Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying there.
Hopefully soon. There's so many great ideas, like you ever played Shell VR?
I've heard of it. I have not played it myself yet. No.
There's some interesting features, like you can spawn props, and then like you can give the prop to somebody else. So, like I can spawn a gun, and it goes into the world, and I can give it to you, sort of like Neo style.
Yeah, like Neos. That's what I was gonna say. I love the idea of persistent objects, and I would love, especially for roleplay. Imagine somebody goes, "Hey, here's I know we have something similar with it with like the claim pocket stuff, but like we're like, here you go. Here's a phone, right? Imagine being able to take out a inventory bag, or even just open up inventory menu, slotting it into there, then it uses X storage space. Maybe you can get more through VR Chat Plus or whatever, but like now you have that object that can be spawned into any instance world. Now obviously there's performance concerns to take into mind for that, but that would be so great. especially for progression within roleplay, because there's so many times where people were like, oh, just use the thing I gave you, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's right, I forgot I had that.
They
it was like 3 months ago.
They actually have a way to optimize in Shell VR. So basically, you can walk around and locally delete props. So like the props are still there for other people, but I can locally walk up and click delete, or just turn off props in general. I can be like, nah, I don't want to see any props, and they just won't appear for me. So there's a lot of like things that they've already implemented to like optimize that stuff and chill out. And I'm like, damn, this should just be in VR. Let's be real here, because like, because how it works right now is like everything has to be self-contained on your avatar. But if you were to have props, then it's separate. You can have like an air horn, you can have like a flashlight. Now I don't have to add a flashlight to my physical avatar, right? Because like when you start adding all these things to an avatar, it makes it unoptimized, right? But if I just want to have a bare bones avatar, and then I'm like, oh, I'm in a horror map. I want to spawn a flashlight just for the map.
Get my flashlight.
All right, now I have a flashlight. Now I can just turn it off, delete it, whatever. I think having the prop system would be greatly beneficial, just for in general, like, because then you don't have to rely them on being in an avatar. Like, I think that would actually optimize the game, because then you can make your avatar more just about your avatar, not having 50 props and all these IDs and all this stuff going on.
Yeah, I still feel like it's a lot of it's a huge case of easier said than done, where we're like, as the onlooker, as the users, we're like, okay, this is what we do, this is what we get to see. I'm sure there's got to be some bigger back end thing that we just can't comprehend. That is the main reason that's not being implemented. But like I said before, I'm sure they have their plates full with a million and one things.
Yeah.
I mean, the maximum players that have been online has been rising and rising and rising and rising. And we saw one of the biggest effects of it on New Year's, where the game literally exploded with how many people were on there at once. I mean, it's you gotta understand that they've got to be like terrified.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, at least inwardly, just the amount of growth. I mean, think of that small team that started working on it at the beginning. There's no way they could have anticipated this. And even as it started gaining steam, it's still exponentially rising. And VR is not going to go anywhere. With the introduction of COVID and the pandemic, people are stuck at home anyways. They're gonna be on. They're gonna be playing VR. They're gonna want to experience things without experiencing things. And what a better, I guess, like a facet for that than virtual reality. And so the only way to go from here is up. And is seeing how they handle that is going to be the interesting part there. I feel like a lot of the VR chat community has been locked into this stigma of VR chat devs bad. I hate these people because I asked for them to add in XYZ and they didn't do it yet. And now they're asking for money. It's like, well, yeah, they have jobs. They don't do this for free.
Exactly.
Like you're like, I want you to dedicate 24 hours of your fucking life every day, right, to making this game better, to make it what I want it to be, for free, please. Thank you.
One of my ideas did get implemented into VR chat. I wrote on a canny like years ago. When you do an emote and then it constantly keeps doing it like this, or you press the die emote,
looping emotes.
Yeah, that was my idea that I wrote years ago.
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
So because I
much needed one, especially for like all the meme dances and shit.
Well, I did it because of roleplay. Because at the time I was doing like Cow's Row, like season 1, and all these other different role plays, and I was like, well, a lot of people use like the die emote to like fall over, but I was like, what if you just stayed on the ground like dead, as a dead body,
like loop the last couple of frames? Exactly.
Yeah, that's how like the default dead like die emote literally does that. You fall on the ground, and then if you click it again, you actually get back up. I can't, because this avatar is old, so it doesn't have that, but a lot of the old newer ones.
I'm still on 2.0. I'm pretty sure I can do it there. No, I can't. Never mind. What? I thought this was a... Yeah, whatever. I'm lazy.
Anyway, the point is that, like, I did that. Smile. I saved VR chat, guys.
I made this smile.
You're like that. He did. Okay, never mind. His avatar didn't do it. But, like, your avatar will stay on the floor forever until you click the button again. And that's like a huge thing.
And then it'll do the procedural get up animation. And
or like AFK stuff. So like if you go AFK and your character's like floating, that wasn't necessarily my idea, but my idea was to like, I click an emote, and then let's say my emote was like sit down or like go fishing and my character would just fish constantly, you know.
Exactly. You could set it to literally whatever. The imagination's the limit, and I think that's one of the cooler things about this whole thing too. I mean, the amount of freedom of expression is what really has surprised me about VR. Now, I'm not one of the people who's like, in real life I hate myself and everything's terrible and I wish I were anyone but me. I'm pretty content with who I am, but the amount of freedom you get both in expression and personality within this game is insane. And like, I mean, my character looks like a fucking child, right? I mean, I'm only 21, so I might as well be a child. However, but like this avatar is what really spoke to me, I guess. I was like, I saw this, and there was a really old version of it. I've done so many, or had so many optimizations and HD retextures and poly changes and shit. But it's cool how people get to be more them in here than they ever really would be able to. Obviously, certain social norms and such are what they are for very important reasons, right? There's certain lines you don't cross. There's things you need to be polite about. But being able to just be open and be yourself, quote unquote, or whatever yourself you want to be, it's astounding, and I can only imagine how many people it's helped, especially those who are on the lesser track of like, I don't really like myself. I wish I was more like this. Well, now you can be whatever you want. And I know I joked about like I want the world to explode, so we'll all be forced to be in VR. And obviously, I don't really think that, but I definitely want to see VR or social VR become more of a norm, and especially in the side of like performances and talk shows and game shows and esports events and stuff like that. It's funny, like, to think of a Lil Bagel, right, and the Slyfest crew, right, all the crazy VR events, the production qualities there. I went to Slyfest. I never go to music festivals. I listen to a bunch of random songs and
Same.
go, these are from games. I love these. But I went to Slyfest.
I did too.
And I fucking danced for 8 fucking hours. 8 hours, and I had a blast. Right? It's crazy just how much you can do within VR. And I want to see social VR become normalized. I want to see your show on a fucking television screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, New York. That's the fucking dream right there.
Absolutely.
Imagine like going to New York City in real life, seeing on the fucking billboard just me like, hey guys, I'm interviewing HatKid here or whatever, and everyone's just like, what the fuck?
Immediately, HatKid.
Yeah, and then I'll say on the TV, I'm the new Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Conan O'Brien. They'll be like, what the hell?
But that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, we joke about it. You very well could be. It very well could go to that direction.
Yeah, I never went to school. I didn't go to Harvard like Conan, so I guess I'm not as cool, but, you know, whatever.
I started going to school, and my parents were like, hey, we're moving out of state. You can't come with us. And I was like, ah, shit, all right, I guess. See you later. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's
Sorry, I've been like talking your ear off.
No, it's fine. I prefer like the one thing I'll tell you that maybe I haven't really told anyone is that I like talking to role players more, because when I interview other people, people are very shy. When you interview someone who's a role player, they're usually good at improv. They usually can flow a conversation better. If I talk to someone who's, someone who just plays single player games all day or like stands in front of a mirror for 6 hours and streams, they're not really good at socializing, Well,
oh God, I don't get it. I don't get how, like, sometimes I'll sit there and I'll be like, I'll put my, like, my slogan is minimum effort, maximum content. So I don't put too terribly much effort into things. But like at the same time, sometimes I'll give my all at a stream, and I'll be sitting there like, yeah, this is insane. Look at all this content. Look at all this diversity things. This appeals to so many different audiences at once. And I'm like, awesome. I've done it. I've done this. Now let's see afterwards. What's the top VR chat stream? Like, there are 3,000 people watching this person sit with their legs spread, floating in front of a mirror, probably I'm like, there's definitely an audience for it, and that's where it diverges, right? It's either sex appeal or they've got a kick-ass personality, or like a combination of both, right? Because I can understand watching somebody sit in front of a mirror if you're talking with them, you're having that flow of conversation. But the ones that are like completely dead silent, and not like dead silent but with text on the screen or like them interact reacting in some way, but like just dead silent sitting there. That's the part where I'm just like, where is the market for that? How do you market that? I've seen you recently on your streams have been in front of the mirror, but again, like I said, you're more of a personality. You've had the personality on top of that. It's not just haha, look, mirror, right? It's you're standing
Hot
there,
girl.
you're talking to them, you're interacting with them. Hot. I mean, sex. Listen, sex sells. No matter what.
Whoa! No way! Come on, round of applause, everybody.
I know. Who would have thought that I'm a messiah?
Woo!
You know, I come up with these fresh new ideas like sex sells, but like, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like, you understand that, I understand that, the rest of the people on Twitch understand that, right? Like,
absolutely.
It's not hurting anyone.
Listen,
it's all in the
my
marketing.
argument is this, right? Like, there's a lot of people there's different types of streamers, right? You get your personalities, you get your hardcore gamers, your Shroud. Personality would be like the GTA streamers. They're all really good at role playing. They know how to, make funny situations. They may not be good at power gaming or really good at I'm gonna rob the bank 50,000 times, hee. But at least they're having a fun time. Or you have the looks. Everybody's got something, right? You get to play to your strengths, right?
Right.
Now I want to do the best of both worlds. That's what I wanted. I want to be the personality. You come for the avatar, and then you stay for the content. I run a talk show.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's perfect, and I'm sure it's worked wonderfully. My formula has been go in, do thing, make the haha funny. It's really not much of a gimmick, but I mean I don't know. I just enjoy blowing things out of proportion and having fun. I like making myself laugh, and it warms my tiny heart that other people enjoy watching me make myself laugh as well. Especially with Flounder. When I set out to make Flounder and Guidebot, I was like, I don't want to be an important character. I don't want to be the main character. I don't want to be this big go-to thing. I just want to go in and I want to fuck with people for 4 hours, and I want to play Claptrap, which is one of my favorite characters of all time. I just want to see how many people I can get to drop to their knees fucking laughing and get them to break character in the middle of their most serious moments. And I've gotten to achieve that many times. It's been oddly pleasing.
Yeah, we had some moments together, You and I dancing, we're just out of nowhere. Dude, we didn't die today. Woo! Just out of nowhere.
I can't dance. I can't dance.
I'm not a dancer.
I really don't. I don't like to dance, and that's what really surprised me about VR is that I'm sitting there in full body, I'm playing Flounder, and I'm like, okay, I have music on a soundboard. I want to dance. I'm gonna make people dance with me so I don't feel as awkward, and I'm gonna see if I just walk into a crowd and start dancing horribly, of course, but dancing nonetheless, and see how many of them will join in on me at the same time. And it's always the entirety of the crowd, and that makes me unbelievably happy.
That's roleplay for you. That's just people in general. I mean, I feel like if you try to do that in real life, it probably wouldn't be as effective. But I think.
Oh God, no.
I think because it's VR, because you can be what you want to be. At the end of the day, you can be that 10 out of 10, six-pack, strong, independent man or woman or whatever you want to be in between, alien, whatever, robot, whatever. So I think when you play something like VR Chat, the look department is sort of out the window. Now you just focus on your personality and your content because
exactly.
I remember when I was a YouTuber, I told this story many times before, but I used to do face cam and stuff. When I first started doing face cam, I would just play games. I just have fun. Oh, I saw you trying to grab me. I was like, what the? Okay. Anyway, continuing on.
The camera back to me. Let him talk his story.
I would record and then I would play my game, do my thing, and then when I would go into add the webcam part and sync the audio, I noticed that my face wasn't animating at all. I was almost like a zombie. I was just there's no expression in my face, kind of like how I am right now.
Right.
But at the time, I felt really subconscious. I was like, holy crap, what the hell? I'm not, my face isn't animating when I watch Markiplier and PewDiePie, their faces going wild, going crazy, and I'm just
yeah.
Dude, is that how it's supposed to be? So then I was just I don't really want to do face cam anymore because it ruins the magic. My voice is being very expression, but my face isn't. So when I started playing VR Chat, I noticed that I didn't have to be subconscious about that anymore, about the way I look or way my face was or anything like that. I could just do my thing.
Yeah, that's interesting. I took almost the opposite direction with that. So as I'm sure you've noticed as we've been talking, I've been doing facial expressions through the gesture system in VR chat. When I first started taking roleplay seriously, I memorized all of the facial. Like I have like angry, sad, happy, surprised, like tired sometimes, but it looks like it's not. Oh, there it is, tired. And then if you combine happy and or mad and sad in a certain way, it does different faces. And I trained myself to while I'm talking to more so like I guess accentuate what I'm saying based off the facial expression there, or try to mimic the facial expression the best I can. And it really, I feel like, especially when it comes to role play and the type of characters that I play, I feel like adding in that additional level of immersion, regardless of its necessity or not. Again, VR is a medium. I feel like it definitely adds something in terms of like almost like that giving that like animated animation character-esque aspect of things. It's definitely not necessary, like you were saying. It's definitely not necessary, but I thought it was a nice touch, or at least for the type of characters that I play.
Well, I mean, I can animate. I can just turn it on. It's just that, like, the reason why I don't is because I forgot to turn this microphone off. So every time I talk, it's just like the mic keeps turning on. So I'd rather just turn like I haven't updated this avatar in like a year and a half, dude. So
dude, don't worry about it, dude. See, that's the thing. The model is good. Your voice is phenomenal, right? The model is fucking suave, right? And it's got a perfect like default expression that it's almost not necessary for what you do. For me, it's just kind of a personal preference type thing. I've put it. Well, so I say personal preference, but I'll be honest. I've been autopilot doing it this entire time. So there's only so much I could do to turn it off.
No, I made my workout outfit has like 20 expressions that I use way more, and I'm like, oh, Pepe shy or whatever, and it works way better. It's just my interviewer one, I just got super lazy and like I made it, and I need to well, I'm getting a new outfit, so like I don't see the reason to like edit this old version of it when I'm getting a new one in like a month. So
exactly, yeah.
So the new one will have the new one will have all the expressions, all the face things. Have it probably so because this is a 2.0, so like the gesture activates the mic. I could do a 3.0, so then you just toggle on and off. Makes a little more sense.
Oh yeah, I love 3.0 and everything you can do in it. I couldn't be damned to learn it. I'm just so lazy.
Oh, I've
pay someone else to do it for me, man.
I've learned a little bit.
It's but I don't want to use Unity.
To me, it's frustrating to even understand. So I learned the bare minimum just to get gestures working. Like,
yeah. I could do 2.0. I could do 2.0 all fucking day. Like I learned that much. I could do basic Blender, basic Unity. I could do palette swaps, texture swaps, all of that. But God, you tell me it's like, all right, now just make an animation controller for this 3.0 model. I'm like, fuck, really? Are you sure?
Yeah, that's how I feel, man. It's just like, God damn it, man. I gotta learn all this shit, and I'm just like, I don't have time, man. I gotta run a talk show, dude. Like, come on, who has time for this? So I just pay people.
Yeah, that's gotta be stressful too, with all you've got on your plate too. I mean, running a talk show definitely is no easy feat. You have to have a certain personality for it. And like you were saying, like the role players will have an innate, I guess, advantage when it comes to that because we're very apt. I don't know if you consider yourself like a role player as like your shtick, because obviously you only do it for Callous Road now, right? But like you were inherently a role player, therefore, right? But I definitely think you've got a phenomenal personality going on for it here, and I'm excited to see where it goes. This is episode 240 something?
241.
God, that's fucking nuts. I could barely be interesting for 4 hours a night, dude. I couldn't imagine doing 240 episodes of like actually like well thought out questions and planned out events and all of this back end work too. I mean, you got a sound guy. I mean, that's nuts.
It was trial and error. This is my first world. Like I had a shittier talk show world where it was just like this part, like that. This was it. It was just this little section, but it was like worse than this. It was just like a basic default table, looked like some kitty shit, and like a window behind me, and that was it. And then like I had no camera guy. I had to do so how I used to do it is I used to have invisible buttons right here, Well, not in this world, but like
Right.
in the old world, and that's how I switched. So I had to switch the cameras by doing this, and it was switch between me and you. So I would constantly talk like this while also having to focus on the interview and then talk to you. And my hands.
I had the same problem with Peko Peko. I had the exact same problem with Peko Peko because while I was shoutcasting and like the host and doing all the interviews and stuff, I had the VR chat camera and I had 3 different pins to work with. And I was like, okay, one's gonna be like top down, one's gonna be the goal, the left goal, the right goal, and then I'm gonna just disable. So I'm like sitting there like disable the camera for the front-facing view, use my head as the camera, then turn back the camera on, turn it back to the 3rd pin because they're going to the goal, and then also double tap open OVR toolkit to then use a Stream Deck emulator program I had made for me to then use a screen effect. It's like it was nuts. It was so much at once, but oh god, it turned out so well. It was so fun. I really hope to be able to host another tournament again here soon. I love throwing money at stupid shit, and hosting tournaments and random games for things that probably shouldn't have tournaments is one of my side hobbies.
That was it was oh man, it was terrible for me just having to keep constantly switch, and it was terrible. And then I had, that guy helped me out, Pixel, in the early days, mods of mine, and they helped me out because I was a one man, like I did everything myself. I didn't want to depend on other people because then it's like, oh shit, they don't show up, oh fuck, we're fucked.
Yeah, then now you're fucked, or vice versa, you're late, now you're inconveniencing them, right? Yeah, so. Like it's definitely a lot to think about.
But it was a proving ground, I proved myself, and I even interview mutes, so boom.
So I have to wonder how that works. So is it like you specifically craft yes or no questions, and like that's where and then you just try to carry the conversation?
No. A lot more. Well, how I explain it is it's very simple. Pretty much, it's scripted. So what I do is I give them 20 questions on Discord in advance, before the interview even happens, like a week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever, as long as they need to take. They then give me the 20 answers to those questions in a Word document. So I have both the questions and the answers in front of me. You can't see it, but I do, like just how I'm doing right now. I see all my questions in front of me. You can't see that, but
right.
Movie magic. And pretty much what ends up happening was they'll sit right where you are. I'll read the question, and the camera will be on them. When I'll read the answer for them. So I'm pretty much only the one that's talking for them, but it is their words, their writing. I read it as it's written. And
I got you.
And if no one believes me, I can show the document. So I was like, oh, that mute didn't say that. I'm like, no, they wrote that. So, and then
it's literally what I said. What do I get?
Literally, yeah. And they will write out like a paragraph. So I'll be reading for a while. So my throat starts dying like halfway through, but. Yeah, that's how it works. And then I tell them, like, if you want to add more context or maybe ask me a question or like type something, just do it on Discord. I can pull up Discord and the text chat's right there, and I just read it. Like I read exactly what they're writing. I'm like their talker, So that's how I do it.
I got you.
I've done it about 30 times in the last year.
I couldn't. Like I said, like I'm able to like riff, or at least I found that I'm able to riff off of existing things or other people around me or circumstances around me pretty well. But then when it comes to it's just me, dead silence, and like a mild prompt, I'm like, okay, maybe not the best. Let's see what we can do with it. And I find myself floundering after like 10. Don't do it. I saw you move your hand. Anyways,
I didn't do anything.
No applause is warranted for that. That was a terrible joke. I should feel bad. But yeah, no, I mean it's definitely a different breed there, or trying to do that. But I commend you for so well dealing with it.
Yeah.
Or dealing with it so well. English is a hard language.
Well, I've also learned some sign language, so I kind of know a few things. Like you interview and talk to enough mutes, you kind of figure out a few things. They'll use the same thing, like this means yes, no, like come on. Some of the things just you pick up after a while. But that's how I've done it, and that's the best way. Or the other option would be I can bring in someone to talk for them. That's also an option as well. So.
Oh, gotcha. Sort of like almost like a translator type circumstance.
Yeah.
We had that's what for Peko back when we had done that there, we actually had there's an official Japanese group of teams that compete against each other, and we had one of them come over. So like the gimmick was like it was like an overseas international tournament, and one of my very good friends, Potato, speaks Japanese and English there, and so it was the weirdest thing interviewing them for their mid-game interview and getting to have that like actual me to translator to them to translator back to me. It was the coolest thing. It made it feel so much more real. It was unbelievable. And the Japanese community for that game is phenomenal, regardless of what you're talking to them about. I know I keep bringing it back to Peko. I hope to see something more of Peko come at some point. I don't know if it'll be me or what'll happen because I'm pretty busy, but yeah, I wish I was busy with more content stuff rather than work, but you know, I live in California, so work barely pays the bills and everything else is supplemental on top.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. You're a hardworking man.
I try to be. Well, I'm doing the adult thing. I'm doing pretty well. I'm net positive. You know, I've got my finances in the right spot.
Hey, amen, brother.
I spend the Twitch money only on Twitch. I pay my taxes. The IRS and I are very, very good friends. And I get business expenses through Twitch, which I have finally started properly monetizing on. Because before, I've always kind of like tried to separate it, just like I'm just doing the content, just do the thing. But now that I have a consistent YouTube channel going on and I've min-maxed all the background content, I've now started to monetize things properly, which has been an adventure on its own. I should have started YouTube way back when I started, like 6 months ago, because I've only really been seriously streaming for 6 months now, and the growth within that has been nuts. But I could have easily capitalized on it if I had done YouTube first. My current workflow is essentially everything I stream on Twitch is specifically made to be content for the YouTube channel, and then I toss that to my editor, who I pay per video, and then my editor, when he sends me the video, I upload it on YouTube. I take clips of that and put it on TikTok, and then I make edits from the Twitch clips to then make a Twitter post to go on there, and then I post the sloppy seconds from the TikTok onto Instagram, and then they go, if one of them blows up, it all cycles back up to Twitch eventually, and I feel like it's a pretty healthy cycle.
Yeah, I started doing something like that. I get what you're saying. A lot of people are seeing that trend of take Twitch, edit it, put it to YouTube, then take a thing, put it to TikTok, put it to Instagram, put it to Twitter, and then maybe it'll help out on Twitch, hopefully. If not,
well, because this discoverability on Twitch is unfortunately very, very difficult, or at least from what I've seen, because it's like you're either at the top of the list or you're at the bottom of the list, and 9 times out of 10, people aren't going to go, oh, I want to watch someone play this game and scroll all the way to the last page, right?
Oh, of course.
It's when you're starting off, it's like it's hard. It's all you really have is like the self-promotion chats of other people. You have like hopefully friends rating you and stuff like that. And I got some decent raids at the beginning, which definitely helped, and exposure through Ascension, but like. It just makes sense, and especially when like you think it's like what's the inverse of that, right? If you're doing only YouTube or that is your primary platform, you go into OBS, you press record, right? You are now recording and you play the game, you do the thing, and you make the haha funny jokes, and then you edit it, right? Like the only difference is one of them has additional monetization on top of it and an active interactive community experience with you in the chat, and that's something that I very heavily focus on. We plug our Discord all the time. I'm in there hanging out playing games with them. They're all idiots just like me, so it works out. It's a hey, I meant it in an endearing tone, all right? Like they're my idiots, all right, and I am their idiot chauffeur. All right. But it's just I have to say I kind of think the Twitch side makes more sense. With the not only in like in terms of revenue, because you have like the people who really support you and love what your content you're putting out. They're gonna sub, they're gonna shoot some bits your way, they're gonna do stuff like gift subs. It really does help to support the creator. So it's like you can make money while making the content that makes you money. And additionally, on top of that, you can give back to the community by giving them their personal shout-outs, talking to them, playing games with them, hosting hangout sessions, hangout nights. For you have the questions. Some of the questions are literally from your chat.
Yes.
Oh, God, I should shut up. You have questions, don't you?
Yeah, questions from chat. Yeah, actually. True.
I can shush. You can tell me anytime.
Hey, yo, let's take some questions from the chat, man. Let's do that. We have
Alright, that sounds like a
18.
wonderful idea.
Wow. Grimsley Bear.
Oh no.
This has to be for the host. How long have you been doing the whole talk show thing? Over a year. So I've been doing it since September of 2020.
240 episodes in the course of a year? Or a little over a year?
No, sorry, 2019. My bad.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? 240 episodes in a year? Holy shit!
Yeah. I used to go more ham though. Like nowadays I do like I don't know, like 1 or 2 a week. I used to do them literally every day.
God, I couldn't imagine.
And then I went
would need
insane.
some break.
And then I got partnered. And then I went less insane.
There you go.
And I was like, all right, I could chill.
You get partner, and you're like, cool. I have the fancy check mark. Time to like actually enjoy what I do.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta grind, you know.
Dude, that's what I did. Like I grinded RP only because RP blew up because of Essential. It's like I'm just gonna just RP the entire time. I'm gonna do exactly everything there, and then the partner hit, and I'm like, awesome. Now I get to have fun. And I completely was like, all right, RP only on these days. The rest of these days, I'm gonna do fun stuff. And it chunked it down so hard, but it was so worth it. It's been so much more of an enjoyable experience.
Shadow Hands 169. Dear HatKid, we've been trying to reach for quite some time now about your car's extended warranty. This is our last attempt to try to reach. If you'd like to buy the extended warranty, please press 1. If no, do a backflip.
I feel like.
Oh, nice.
I feel like that we've been doing that meme for so long. Like I get those spam calls on the daily at this fucking point, and I just every time I pick it up and I immediately regurgitate it back to them. And so I've been trying to integrate it into as many things as I humanly possibly can. It's there was a Miss Universe and I had a shitty fan fiction contest where like the goal was to be the shittier fan fiction, and we like read it out loud dramatically in her Discord, and that's actually how I ended mine. As my mic drop, I was like, Joseph turned to Vevina and said, "We've been trying to reach you regarding your car's extended warranty for quite some time," and just left the Discord shit.
Oh shit! That's how you do it, man.
I don't know. Maybe I find it unbelievably funny, even though it's like the worst possible like robocall known to man. God, it's less of a bit than the Snapple Apple though. I miss Snapple. They never sponsored me. They just liked my Twitter post and never acknowledged me again.
Dirt Track Racer 123 for guest Sig Lord win.
Sig what win?
For guest Sig Lore when.
There is Sig lore. It's on the VRC Legends wiki. If you look up Sig and or HatKid, it'll be up there. His lore and all the lore that has been documented is currently on the wiki if you want to check it out.
Bill Lancer, how do you know the Muffin Man? Oh, sorry, that's for me. Host, do you know the Muffin Man? Yeah, sure. Next question. Neverlock7, why do you suck at Smash Bros?
You all right? Listen, just because I got my ass handed to me by fucking who was it? I forget who it was. I think it was it was Everkey. Yeah. And listen, I suck at Smash Bros because I don't play Smash Bros. All right, I swear. My dad works for Nintendo. All right, you keep this shit up, I'll make him delete your GSP.
Whoa.
This is a threat.
Well, next question's from Eric IA. What is your favorite color and why? Make it poetic. Fuck, you know the word. I'm dyslexic. I'm fucking stuttering. Poetic.
I don't know the word actually.
Poetic.
Poetic.
Jesus.
Oh God, you want me to make a poetry about my favorite color?
Yeah, man.
Oh God.
It's a rhyme.
Just wait. It's a rhyme.
That's what a poem is. Poems are rhyming, dude.
Doesn't have to rhyme. No, excuse me. Like Crimson Leaves Falling is a fucking poem. Where's the rhyme in that? Oh God, how can we do that? What is my favorite color? That's a good fucking question. I usually just say green.
Red. Easy clap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that rhyme?
No.
All right, listen. All right.
I'll better be red than dead. There you go.
Oh God.
Amen.
Mine was lame. I just said I don't mean to be mean. Mine is green. Woo, it rhymes.
Yay.
Okay, how do you make that poetic?
I don't know.
Green like the subtle summer leaves falling off the trees. My ever-flowing emotions match only the deep, somber feeling I see as the grass becomes cut. I don't know. That's it. That's all I got. You get nothing else.
Baz Desi says, what's the most useless talent you have? My life.
Oh. Are you okay, man?
Yeah,
you
I'm
want to
fine.
talk about it?
What do you mean?
Sure?
I'm redhead. I have no soul.
Oh, there it is. All right, cool. A useless talent that I have no fucking use for. I can sound like a NASCAR car on a trombone. Like revving their engine really hard.
You got a trombone?
I could sound like. Do I have a fucking trombone? Yeah, obviously. You want to hear it? You want to take
Yeah,
fucking
sure.
trombone? Dude, all right, listen. If you're asking if I have instruments, you have a couple of options, all right? You have acoustic guitar, electric guitar, dulcimer, 12 ocarina, 4 ocarina,
Dude,
6
you're a
ocarina,
pretzel, bro.
kazoo, flute. Fucking, we got. Dude, I know I'm a pretzel. All right, you told me to get my
Pretzelitis.
trombone. It's behind me. It's a plague sweeping the nation. You want to fucking hear? Dude, make me pull this out on live television in front of my mom. Yeah, I haven't played this trombone in fucking forever.
They don't see me. They see you. Or sorry, they see me, and yours is like a fuck. I don't know, dude. Your head's up your ass, dude.
Is that what you like?
Unfortunately,
Does this
no.
excite you?
I wish. I fucking wish, man.
Oh man, can I play it holding the controllers? Ah. All right, this is what you wanted. All right, you ready for this shit?
I'm ready.
There you go. That's all you get. There you go. That's it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude, I play an ungodly amount of instruments. Dude, of all the useless things I could have done, man, I could have been like, oh yeah, I can kind of play piano and like actually play the song, but this is what we did instead.
Yeah, it's fine, man.
Tragic.
Clip it and ship it, you know?
Well, there you go. Put it on national television.
Josh, 92.
Can't believe I fucking did that.
Yeah, you did. Dear HatKid.
Fucking stupid.
Dear HatKid. Now that you're known as Flounder, does part of you miss being Guidebot? If so, what do you miss the most? If not, what do you think could have been done to make Guidebot worth continuing to play had he not died?
That's a pretty interesting one. So I loved Guidebot. I loved playing Guidebot. It was a very fun character. It really was just fucking Claptrap inside of a cyberpunk post-apocalyptic type world. But I honestly prefer playing Flounder, and for a very key amount of reasons. And this is to answer the why or what could have made Guidebot better. Flounder has legs and actual arms. I'm able to go a lot more places. I'm able to move around a lot. I'm able to take advantage of full body tracking to be way more emotive. Claptrap and Guidebot being like just a lot of like arm movements. He's like, greetings, allow me to introduce my, like all that fucking like robotic arm movements can only do so much. But Flounder, I'm able to dance around. I'm able to lay on the ground. I'm able to do flips and dance and shit. And like, it's a lot more fun for me when I know that I'm being as interactive and emotive as I possibly can. And I'm giving out that visual representation of what I want the character to be. So, I mean, I guess the only thing I could have added to Guidebot was like legs and arms, which essentially is what we did. It was just the time to transition the character. Guidebot's whole existence was to become part of one of the corporations or reinstate his product line that was canceled, and he technically got his wish. So he lived out his entire character story arc and got the ending he deserved.
Nice.
Yeah, it was lots of fun. Flounder's just a lot more fun because
Now, how do we crush the other corporations?
Easy. I am the news. If you fuck with me, I get to cancel you on Trident. It's
Fake news, brother, fake news.
No. Listen, all right. You know what's fake news? You know what's fake news? Atlantis teaching people magic. Someone's spreading this shit around. We will fucking find you, and when we do, we will ensure that whatever homeworld, your place you call home, we'll make sure that the guards visit it. All right. So that's fucking fake news. We don't have anything for magic. We can barely do our jobs.
Oh my God, that wouldn't be me spreading that rumor. I hate magic.
Yeah, it fucking better not be.
It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be me.
We know.
I spread other rumors.
Good. As long as it's not about Atlantis, you spread rumors about whoever you want. In fact, if it could be about Talaris, that'd be a grand help.
Maybe. Tusa Jack, what do you both think of Sword Art Online rigs before being used with VR chat? Now, I want to be honest with you here, gamers. I never played or watched Sword Art Online, but I know about it, and that's where like they go in the full thing and they go full dive, and then like if they die in the game, they die in the real life. I know about that. What I think about that, if it was like the non-dying part, sounds pretty dope. The dying part, not so cool, but it sounds really cool. I mean, something like that could be something in the future, maybe in our lifetime, 50 years, 100 years from now. It could be a thing. It's just, I think there's a lot of problems with it because it's like, what if you use it and you have like an aneurysm? You're just like what's the fucking,
what happens to your body? Who's going to watch over the body? Now, if they're like specific facilities to do this, right? Now,
Yeah.
so whenever I think of Sword Art Online, like I avidly watched it. I'm a huge weeb, and Sword Art Online was one of my first animes, which is what led me into an unhealthy obsession with virtual reality. And the one thing my mind always goes to when it comes to like the SAO nerve gear type stuff interface is when you apply it to like a medical field, right? There are people out there who will never experience a lot of things. They do, whether it be mental issues or physical issues that are going to limit them in one way or another. There are so many people out there who are going to be just inherently limited from all these experiences, and just the idea that we could just put a helmet on their head and have it take over their brain waves or whatever the actual science behind it will end up being, using the BMIs, and allow them to experience these circumstances and places and activities that they never could before, as if they were actually doing it. I find it almost inspiring. I want to see that happen. Now, in terms of directly Sword Art Online, I would love to live out. If my life's going nowhere and they gave me the option to jack into a game and live out the rest of my life in an RPG, death or not, so be it. Fuck it. I mean, it would be. If I'm already not going to contribute anything largely in my life, which I'm not, and I accept that. I'm no fucking Einstein. I'm not Elon Musk. I'm not going to do anything inherently special. I install cable for a living, and that's pretty much where it starts and stops. I guess the only additional thing on top of that is content, but besides that, I mean, like, I would love to live out the rest of my life in like an RPG, especially one with actual permanence, because I'm a stickler for roguelikes. They make me feel like I'm actually progressing and that there's actual stakes to what I'm doing, regardless of it being a video game. And being able to progress and actually train and stuff like that would be pretty neat. Maybe not. Maybe it sounds cool on paper. Maybe it's one of those things that sounds cool on paper, but absolutely, like, in practice fucking sucks. But those are my just like knee-jerk responses to it.
I hear you, sir. Yeah, I mean, to me, I don't know. It really depends on the context of what's going on. But I think it'd be cool. Because then you can experience, like, you also got to think of, like, there's people out there, like, VR chat is already a very powerful tool. Like, if you think about it, there's people out there, like, right now in VR chat that probably don't even go outside. They, like, not because of COVID, just because they're introverted, because they don't know how to talk, they don't know how to socialize. And now when they play VR chat, they can have that opportunity to have attention, to, like, people head pat them, to love them, to appreciate them, to stream. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've met someone in VR chat that was very shy, very introverted, and because of VR chat, they've like broken a little bit out of their shell, and they go to TwitchCon, they go to these events, post COVID, before anyone yells at me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like they would do those things, and like people would experience things. Like I met people that, like, one person like was like a shut-in, and they've never talked to anyone outside their family, and because of VR chat, and they became a streamer just because of like whatever, like they just started doing it because someone told them to do it, and now like they're streaming every day and they're super happy, and they're like, oh my god, I watched streamers growing up and now I'm a streamer, and the cycle repeats itself. I'm influencing people, and like
saves lives to a degree, or it creates lives in that degree.
There's a lot of crazy stuff, and that's what we have now. Now we think about the future.
Something like a Nerve Gear BMI fucking I'm excited. I'm excited. And like I was telling you before, with where I hope to see some of this VR content realized out into a wider audience versus just Twitch. I really do. I can't wait to see where that line gets blurred between like the integration of virtual instances and virtual personalities and people being melded with the standard primetime entertainment of actual actors and stuff like that. I definitely think it'll be an interesting time. I don't think it'll be within our time, within our lifespan. You're 25, right? I'm only 21. It's not a huge gap.
50 years.
I don't think with
75. Hey, come on, Sonny. Back in my day, we played VR chat.
We're an old decrepit man, just be like,
I'm still hot, bitches.
You wouldn't allow this on television. You're like, yeah, Grandpa. That's
great. Back in my day, there wasn't ads in 80% of the screen. What the hell? God damn it.
Oh God, that's a dystopian future thought. Once you're jacked in, dude, they could advertise all sorts of shit to you. But then then it becomes a question of, for those people who are going to be long-term jacked into role play, Jesus Christ, into VR. What do you fucking advertise to them? They don't need to fucking go out and eat. They're gonna be like tube fed or fucking whatever, right? I mean, like, what do you advertise to them? The newest hit, interactive
Avatars.
Nerve Gear game.
Avatars. Better suits, just like Ready Player One. They've literally been like, you need this suit. You need this. New games.
I would rather get advertised that than like the McChicken special down at McDonald's 2 for $1.
Uber Eats, Space Eats, man.
Yeah, that's fair. No, that's fair. Honestly, if you're looking for a way to make money, you're gonna make money somehow. There's always something to market to.
Of course, absolutely. We might have to start wrapping up here because we're going for an hour and 40 minutes, just so you know. So
holy shit! Oh
yeah,
fuck.
man. Yeah,
sorry.
No, it's fine. The max is usually I go for 2, so we'll wrap up here because I like to do my own thing. My throat's starting to die. So, is there anything that you would like to ask me, or you just wanted to wrap it up?
I had a single question for you because I know that I remember before you were very prominent within the roleplay community, and now your roleplay seems semi-limited to Callus Row here. Do you have any interest in coming back harder into the roleplay community, regardless of which roleplay or whatever it is? And like, if there were a roleplay to entice that one rebel, which I hope the name change eventually happens for you, man. I remember talking to you about that. But what would get you back into the roleplay community? What is missing from it that's giving you that I want to do this more than just on Fridays?
Well, I thought about it for a while to get into the GTA stuff, like the no pixel server, which I technically still could. It's just that I would have to wait until like a 6-hour queue, and I'm like, I ain't doing that. Like, fuck that. I also ain't playing at 2 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the morning. No, that's just not for me. What would entice me to like convince me? I think VR chat roleplay is fun and all, but I think I want to do something. Unless like VR chat, like the dynamics of like having more, level ups and stuff like that would be more enticing.
Yeah.
I think what my dream thing to like roleplay that would be really awesome would be like GTA but VR, or like there's a thing called Project Elysium where it's basically like a low end.
Yeah, I signed up for that way back when. Is this still being made?
Yeah, I checked it out recently. They're still working on it very slowly, but
well, yeah, but I mean, I remember hearing about it. I thought it flopped and they weren't going to do anything with it. But I'm excited to see where that goes, especially if they do end up doing the mobile app integration on that.
Yeah.
So the reason I was asking is because, like I had said, the teams at Neos and like the individual groups I've talked to and worked with there, they're working on an actual integrated system to enhance and entice role players. And if something like that comes along, I would definitely urge you to try it, especially when it has actual back end to it, like we were talking about with like NoPixel and stuff like that, having those systems to aid the role play. I definitely think you should give it a go.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for. You know, it doesn't have to be like modern day. It can be medieval. It can be, you know, whatever time frame or whatever. I just want to have those back end systems because there's only so much you can do with LARPing, and I feel like having those back end systems of like I can store money or like I could even like. A part of me, or like a part of me wants to even go just light RP. Like I used to play a lot of when I was a kid. I used to play a Gmod Dark RP, where it's just very light, where it's just cops and robbers. Where like some people play as a cop, some people play as some gangster, and some people play as a gun shop owner.
The king of the hobos.
Yeah, or king of the hobos or whatever. And like it's just round based. Like you play for a couple hours and you dip in, dip out. There wasn't like you have to commit to a character every day. So I would like to have something like that in VR chat or Neos or whatever, where, you spawn into the world and then you're like, okay, I want to be a cop. So you click the cop thing. Oh, I can arrest people now. Oh, I have a Glock. Pew pew pew. Whatever.
And that's the sort of interactions they're working on there. They're trying to make a sort of almost class system with integrated props that are easily modular in the sense that you could easily swap in the internals to make it work for whatever you're looking for there. And as that progresses there, I definitely want to try it out as soon as humanly possible, because LARPing, like you said, is inherently limited, and being able to have systems to aid the roleplay and make it feel more authentic, not just for us, we're like, all right, asterisk puts on handcuffs, asterisk, but like actually hold their model, because your strength, the system checks your strength stats higher than theirs, they're not going to be able to move out, right? You force their arm behind using actual physics-based interactions, put the handcuffs on them, they are like actually unable to move because the game dictates it. And that is what I'm excited for, when you are not only just improv role-playing, but you are playing a game.
Yeah, like Gary Newman, who made Rust and Gary's Mod, he's already working on Gmod 2, and Gmod 2 is based off of it's based off of the Source 2 engine, which is made with of Half-Life Alyx, which has VR integration. So you could, say in the future that technically that Gmod 2 would probably have VR support, so you could play Dark RP in VR and then have some people in desktop, because some it's like cross play. So
God, that'd be so fucking cool. That'd be so exciting.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I would want. Like either I don't want to have like a more lighter Gmod round base, or a little more serious, but has like the elements to have level ups, and there's like if I get stabbed, then like I move slower, I start bleeding all over the place. You have to put a bandage on it.
Does damage. Yeah. It has a modifier. You actually have to go see a doctor. And think about that. Like Callus Row is the closest thing that's come that's come to that. Yeah. Where there are systems in place, and it may be player ran, but like there are systems in place where you can go, I got hurt, I'm gonna go see a doctor, and then get the actual means of repairing myself to then go walk out again. Like I think with a little more integration and a little more live interactivity, once the servers can handle it, of course, I feel like it's going to go far.
Oh, absolutely. I'm definitely interested with what's going to happen for like season 3, or if VR chat like takes the plunge to go to like Unity 2019, or because if you upgrade the engine, then we have more functions, more things. You could go like super hard, like especially because we have all like the coders and stuff for Callus Row. It's a very unique experience, so they might be able to have those systems where you actually could like have money could have getting shanked, and like now you're bleeding out, and if you don't
we're working on it. Actually, Face Dragon has the money system. For the corpse, we have an overlay, or a specific handheld overlay that's testing. We have persistent inventories in the specific chest. When we click on it, it'll open up a secondary window on our inventory system. We can actually pocket items, so we can place it in the chest and then put it into our inventory and then spawn it anywhere. Or at one of the chests. We have a system like that. We also have integrated money. So like Corpse, at least Flounder, gets 10,000 credits a day. just refreshed, and I can actually select someone's name in that list, and I can send them the credits, which will notify their phone or whatever device and show them that on their screen that their balance has changed. So there's actual tangible currency that's being worked on. It's just currently only being beta tested in the upper city.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that. I just it'd be better if it's like, you know, for everybody.
Everyone.
Because like in the row, I'm kind of like, it's gonna cost like 10,000 credits, and I'm just like, all right, like there's no like, you know, it's just based off my lifestyle. It's just, hey, whatever, man. You know, hey.
Absolutely, you paid that. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. So.
Yeah,
because I feel like that adds more, like, you know, real, because then you'd be able to check your balance, be like, oh shit, I don't have that money. Fuck, how do I get money? Oh, I gotta rob the bank. I rob some bums. I don't know, do something. Sell some space crack.
Do it work for someone. They DM you the money. Have a nice day, and then like I definitely think that would be nice. I feel like it should be spread out further because I feel like money, even just the inclusion of like consistent currency and the pocket system within Calistro would be huge. Imagine selling people actual prop items that you kept in your pockets. You're like, I'm going to sell you this phone, and then they give you those credits. Or like you're like, I'm going to go do a quick favor for you. You go do the favor. They then DM you the money. The money transfer happens there, and now you have money makes the world go round, and having to actually worry about that rather than just my lifestyle says I can, so I will, would be insane.
Yeah, pretty much just like I said, that's why I just want to have GTA No Pixel 3.0, because they have like people run jobs, like they'll have people like run like what's called the digital den, where they like, because like you can go like rob houses and then you get like TVs and you can sell them to like this random guy, or you can actually go to a player and sell it, and then they'll break it down to parts, and then they'll build those parts into a laptop to then rob the bank, or they'll like use it to make lockpicks, or like there's reasons to do things. So it's like it's an economy system, and then they would have like, you know, maybe you can find like a random gem, and then like you have to go to the gem dealer to then sell it, and they give you money, and then they use that gem to, I don't know, put it in so something. Cool. Like that's what GTA has.
It's so cool because it's real. It's you're actually doing it. There's reasonings for the things that you do, rather than I asterisk do this because I think I should. It's there's an actual system in place to it, and I think we'll heavily benefit from that there.
Absolutely. Anything else you wanted to ask, or anything else you want to?
I believe that's all that really comes to mind here. Although I appreciate you having me on here. I know we had talked about it a while back in there, and so I appreciate you keeping me in the back of your mind there, man.
Absolutely.
I hope this is somewhat an enjoyable experience.
No, it's good.
Here.
It's great. I love it. I love.
We never get a chance to like hang or talk. I know I'm never on, so nor am I in the post lobbies. But I hope you're doing well, man. I know we had never really like known each other, but again, I appreciate the opportunity to come on. It was a blast. This is definitely a first for me, and seeing that up there, the big old fancy screen with that on there and all the effects and the sound, it's like, I mean, I'm immersed. I'm having a blast.
Yeah. Well, without further ado, I'd like to say thank you so much for the interview, HatKid. I really do appreciate it. You can check you out at twitch.tv/HatKid. I think it's underscore, right? Or is it just HatKid now?
Nope. When I got partner, it's just HatKid. H-A-T-K-I-D.
Oh, man, I wish I was like that.
No underscore anymore. Dude, I'm telling you, one of these days they're going to give you the name. One of these days.
Well, I recently checked into it, and they showed that, because when I went to twitch.tv/Rebel, it actually like loaded up the page. And what it said in the chat, like the person's chat, it said this chat is suspended, or this channel has been suspended, and it does that to other people that have been permanently banned. So what I've learned now is that whoever was Rebel actually got banned permanently from Twitch, and you cannot have a permanent. You cannot have a username that's been permanently banned. That's just a rule. Though I do think that if I had the ninja money, then maybe, you know.
Ninja money, man. Get on Times Square already.
Yeah, I'll floss. I'll do it better than he did, you know.
There you go, man.
Yeah, that's the goal. One day I'll just be so massive. I'll be like, Twitch, listen to me. I'm the #1 streamer on Twitch. Please give me the name. And they'll be like, okay, you know. All right, man.
Since you asked so nicely.
Yeah. Anything like Twitter? You think yours just HatKid was taken? YouTube?
Twitter's HatKid was taken. YouTube is HatKid. Most of my videos can be found by searching HatKid VR on TikTok. I'm HatKid VR, but Yeah, mostly YouTube. Mostly YouTube. We have the official HatKid Discord, but I don't fucking know that link, and I'm not about to go look it up.
Oh man, you gotta get level 3, and then you just get Discord slash.
You get the custom, the vanity URL.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there. Well, I mean, we have a lot of people use it. We've been consistently 2, so I'm looking forward to seeing if we can get 3.
Absolutely. But anyway, before you go, we'll take a photo, and then we'll send you on your way. I'll continue my stream because I continue to talk to my audience. You know, the chat's like, "I need Rebel. He hasn't talked to me in 2 hours," and I'm like, "All right, man."
They're breaking their hearts. Well, again, I appreciate it. Where are we standing for the picture?
We just stand up. Hold on, let me. I'm RP standing up. I'm still sitting in my chair, but I'm clearly standing because reasons.
There
Anyway.
you go.
No, I actually have